Say, man, y'all welcome back to another video here on No Sugarcoat Podcast. We back again. We locked and loaded. We ready to do another one because we're going to keep it coming no matter what. You understand what I'm saying?
Already.
While we got the time, while we got the energy, while we here, we going to get it in. Look, y'all. This one, scrolling through TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Scrolling through TikTok. And I seen this live. You know how you got them crazy lives on TikTok. They talk about some good stuff, don't get me wrong. And I say, you know what? I'm finna pull these questions, and we're gonna talk about one or two of them on the podcast. Before we get into it, I just want to give our praise and honor to God because He is the reason why we're here today. You understand what I'm saying? It was raining tonight. It was a long trip here tonight, and the Lord was able to get us here safely.
Oh, yes.
You get what I'm saying?
We weathered through the rain.
We weathered through the rain,
Through
only Him, because only He can do it for us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, just listen to me. Just take your time, man. Can white culture and black culture coexist? Now, look, when we talk about these things, they're straight, fully authentic, not anything scripted. We don't talk about it. We don't really discuss much of it. Whatever our thoughts are, we just spit them out here on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So, in my opinion, who knows? You might change. You might swear. We might be jump back and forth. I think we can coexist. Now, what do you think, Roy? I'm pretty sure me and the people know, but what do you think, Roy?
I think there's certain things that are good and bad about both cultures.
Mm-hmm.
I think as black people, we have our faults. As white people, they have their faults.
Yeah.
And, honestly, there are things that clash and there are things that bring us together.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest things that causes each race of people to kind of have their issues and their conflicts is, of course, going to be the past. You know.
Well, if you want to talk about the past, I mean, we can say why us as black people still hold on to it.
Well, I think one of the biggest mistakes is we get too caught up in the past, letting that define us rather than shaping a future.
Mm.
I think to some degree we get complacent on, oh, these things happen to our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers and their great-grandmothers. And I feel like we fail to realize the opportunities that we have today that they could only dream to have.
We live in a different world, very different world than 3, 4, 5 generations ago. And at some point, I'm not telling us in the black community to let it go completely, right? We got to remember it, but you got to forgive and forget.
Well,
You got to forgive but never forget. I'm sorry, my bad.
Well, that's the thing. Forgive, but don't forget.
That's what I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I messed up. You have to forgive, but don't forget.
Yeah.
But you also got to understand, man, the people
grow.
that we are dealing with in today's world are not those people.
They're
some
detached.
Some are, the bloodline, and they still carry over them same values, and they still look at us the way that they look at us.
Of course.
Right?
There's always going to be people like that.
And the things that me and this man talk about on the podcast, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is only like a part one to a lot of the things that we've done, right? We want to spill out our thoughts and how we feel about it, and we definitely going to have more people here on the show to explain to you guys how they feel about it, what's their side, more women on the show, different cultures on the show. It's coming.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely
It just takes time, and I have to make sure that these people that I do bring on the show can bring y'all some value and some substance. And they're not just here talking.
Of course not.
Because that's not what this is about. We're here to spread knowledge, and we're here to teach people things and to create that dialogue, that mind. I want your mind rolling when you get done with this video. Like, I didn't think about it that way.
Well, yeah, and honestly, when it comes to black culture, there are some things that white people do criticize that they do have certain fair points on. So, like, for instance, we don't want to be seen as criminals. We don't want to be seen as pests to society.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be seen as something that is destructive.
Mm-hmm.
But then to some degree, we allow ourselves to glorify people that represent a lifestyle that we claim that we don't want to define us.
And I bet your prime example is these artists these days, these rappers and these singers.
And honestly, as much as I love rap and hip hop, I remember growing up, there was a time where rap and hip hop was a lot more fun, you know, a lot more grounded and a lot more interactive as far as like the dancing and like they talked a lot more about having fun. I mean, sure, you had your gangster rap, but you know, you kind of had separate avenues. But nowadays, it just seems like everything is just trap, drill, and there's not really much variety. It's like at a certain point, it's like, how are you going to dance in like all this stuff to murder music?
That's what they want. That's the problem. That's what they want. At the end of the day, they want they what they're doing though, man. You gotta think about what they're doing is giving society what they want. Think about this. I mean, you know this song. We talked about it the other day. You know the song I'm
really
finna say.
want it though.
Do you think they don't? Why is songs becoming number one on the Hot 100? Why does they not want it?
Repetition.
But how?
See, you might not like something, but if you hear it enough, you'll eventually like it just because you hear it so much. See, you could psychologically it's almost like hypnosis. You hear something enough times, you might start rocking with it.
I think what they do is they mask it with them rhyme schemes and the melodies.
Of course.
And it's
And
sad.
it'll force you to say things that you normally wouldn't say. You wouldn't say those things on a day-to-day basis, but yeah, you singing it.
Cause ain't nobody gonna talk about on no normal day. I got murder on my mind.
I mean, maybe if they see a roach.
I mean,
They see a roach.
but we literally
I got murder
glorify.
on my mind. I could drop a nuke right here and kill you all the time.
We're not remixing songs. We talking about what. We talking about what it actually means. We're glorifying a rapper talking about killing somebody.
Killing.
What we trying to get away from in the black community, not like monsters, right?
But then we glorifying the
But we
monster
glorifying the monster activities.
Yeah. So
Yellow tape around his body is a homicide.
and then
I mean, because it sound good.
and
We
then
sit
but
here
then
jamming it.
but then we'll have the nerve to get mad at white people when they assume. But then we're giving them fuel for them to assume for us. We're not taking that away like we should be as a people. If we want to paint that picture, hey, don't be assuming just because I'm black that I'm on that stuff.
Yeah.
But then when people look like you and me are glorifying that on a day-to-day basis, and that's all they see, like
What are they supposed to think?
What are they supposed to really think? What percentage of it is their fault versus what percentage of it is?
I mean, I think we got
our
to take the
people's
mass.
fault.
I think we have to take the mass majority of what is our fault. We got to take most of the fault. We do.
And see, that's the thing. It's like
We do it to ourselves at the end of the day.
and we don't want our children to get into these lifestyles.
But that's all they see. That's what the world is full of.
Well, it's not even just all that what they see. They see it getting rewarded.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it. They think that, because if I can do this, then I can get here.
Well, what it is like, you gotta think about it like this from one perspective. If you are a black man and you're growing up in an environment where the hood, where the gangsters are getting all the play, getting all the women, getting all the respect, getting all the motion. When the drug dealers and the hitters and the shooters and the scammers, when they're getting all that motion from the ladies, if you're a man and you want that action,
And you
what
become
you gonna do?
you become what you see.
You become what you see is succeeding. They might not be succeeding long term, but they're succeeding enough, and that's all it takes.
But if you have enough structure in your life, you have the right people in your circle, I think you can stop that from happening.
See, but here's the thing. If you're surrounded by people that are in that lifestyle and you have nobody to tell you different.
Then more than likely you will be in that lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know what I don't get? How we was just talking about the music and how we do, but what us in the black community do when it comes to that, right? I want to take a little tangent. We pick and choose how we want to view the music we listen to and what these artists do in their
course.
personal life, don't we?
Oh yeah, look at Gunna. Gunna snitch. We just gonna have to keep it a stack. He snitched.
But we pick and choose.
But folks is listening to him. But then 6ix9ine called hell. And let's keep it a buck. Is 6ix9ine and Gunna really different? Are they really different? I mean, don't get me wrong. 6ix9ine made a lot of noise and he was playing.
Right, right.
But they both, at the end of the day, snitched. They both broke code. They both broke protocol.
So what makes one better than the other?
Exactly, and that's my point.
What do you think?
I mean, I hate to say it, but
Because
if we looking at it, calling it what it is,
you finna say, what is it? You finna say it?
because Gunna's one of us.
So we picking and choosing.
Picking and choosing, and then expecting the world to respect
But
it.
if that's the case, why R. Kelly ain't making it? So can you really say it's skin color? Because we all denying him. Well, most of us.
Nah,
So-
but we did let him slide for a good minute.
Okay. He not sliding now.
He not sliding now, but look at how long it took. But then again, you could argue the same thing for like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein,
Bill
Frankenstein.
Cosby. What about Bill Cosby? What about Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby Steen, Ghislaine Maxwell Steen.
Okay, what? Stop. Knock it off. What in the white culture? What about the white culture?
What about?
Do we really have the right to talk about the white culture?
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I think that people are going to check us regardless. We should be able to check them regardless. People should be able to check each other regardless of skin color, because at the end of the day, character is what it all boils down to.
We talked about that
On
another video.
If we don't have good character as a society, regardless of the races, there's going to be fallout. It is what it is.
There always will, but we don't live in a perfect world, right?
We don't live in a perfect world.
But what faults do the white culture have that we can see in the black community?
I mean, there's those, well, let's just keep it a buck. There are those that understood the depth of the past, and then there are those that understand it, but they want to cover it up, because whether it's because they feel shame or whether or not it's because they want to just deny. Like, there's people that deny the how I say this, the Jewish ovens. There are people that deny those.
What?
The Jewish ovens, the Holocaust. You ain't ever seen Black Klansmen?
I didn't even like catch what you just. Jesus Christ.
You ain't ever seen Black Klansmen?
I have. I just didn't catch what you said.
The Jewish ovens.
I
There are people that deny that.
Okay. I
Just like there are people that deny slavery. You know, I saw something a long time ago. They were trying to change. They took slavery out of textbooks. They said migrant workers. Yeah,
Where you get that? What?
man.
Migrant workers?
Yeah, they got textbooks, man. There are people that are ashamed of our history.
But if you saying ashamed, that means us. We are ashamed of it.
No.
You
they're,
can't say-
they're
but-
ashamed of what they did in contribution to their history. They look at it, they know it's bad. They knew it was heartless, but they're trying to hide it because they're ashamed of what happened. They don't want that to be a part of American history, because they want American history, when every time they hear it, they want it to be something that's endearing.
But if you don't acknowledge the past, it will come back around.
Well, the way that I see it is, if you don't acknowledge history, it'll repeat itself. Sometimes if you want to look at the future, you got to go to the past.
Okay. But we're gonna have to bring somebody from a different culture up here.
Oh, most definitely. I got a few contenders.
You got a few contenders?
Yeah, I got a homie of mine. lived on the same street with for a good minute, for a good percentage of my life. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I actually talked to him the other day. He said he wants to be a part of the podcast.
He wants to be a part of the podcast.
He said he didn't know if he could be on it though,
because go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
It's been very melody heavy. You know what I'm saying?
You know that wasn't even the true intentions, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It wasn't the true intentions. It's just
It
proximity.
naturally happened that way. The people that we have in our circle introduce us to other people in our circle that happen to be.
Hey, but that table talk broke it broke continuity.
You know what it really did, and at the end of the day, that's how you know we're not trying to be black only. We're here for anybody and everybody. You feel what I'm saying?
Because that's how we learn.
That's how we learn. I'm telling you, you need different strokes for different folks. It's very important that you have other people in your circle that don't think the way that you do.
Of course.
That were not raised the way that you were. That is why, once we get over that hill, black and white cultures can coexist. We can learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
If we seek to understand.
Yeah,
If
but
we
some
seek
people
to
don't
want
want
it.
to understand.
I get that. But I think eventually the majority will want to understand.
Do
We're
you-
not going anywhere. This life that we're living is not going to all of a sudden erupt tomorrow. We have to learn how to live together and live comfortably.
I think both sides just need to see each side hold each other accountable. Not to say that there aren't certain sectors of our sides that do hold each other accountable or don't hold each other accountable, but I think each side just needs to see it, and it might open up the possibility. Now, I know that may be a little bit too optimistic, but it's better than not trying.
It's better than doing nothing.
And the thing is, from both perspectives, because this is something we can both agree on, you got white people that feel like black people aren't held accountable. And then you got white people that feel like... Exactly. And it's like, that's why I feel like we should both see it. If we can both put ourselves in a position where we can see it.
But the proof is in the pudding to some extent. Some white people
don't get held accountable.
Do not get held accountable.
Yeah.
Versus us.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you look at the scale, what do you think you're going to see?
I know. Trust me.
But they have to acknowledge they don't get held accountable.
But I'm gonna also take this into account. So when it comes to like things like police brutality,
yeah,
it happens to black folks.
100%.
But it also does happen to them.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
I
to
do
think
you one
about.
better. I do you one better. Even black policemen still beat on black men.
Oh yeah. You remember Ice Cube said, "Black police showing out for the white cops."
See what I'm saying? He said, "What song was that?"
That was Are you serious? After police.
That was it. I need to go back and listen to the lyrics to that.
Oh, come on,
It's
man.
been too long. You think I listen to that every day? Seriously?
Straight out of Compton. Crazy mother named Ice Cube. Boy.
So, you hurting my ears, man. God.
Boy. I'm just saying, I mean, like, when it comes down to it, both sides got their problems, got their issues.
But why do you think they can't coexist?
Well, I put it to you like this. Police brutality, for example, it happens on both sides.
All right.
But for some reason, there's subsections of people that stand with the police no matter what. You know, don't cross the blue line or whatever they say.
Protect the blue. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Protect the blue. And it's like, to an extent, but you also got to check the blue.
And that's what they don't do.
You got to check the blue. And
They don't hold themselves accountable.
You have to have checks and balances.
For a reason.
Because you'll have police officers abusing their power.
They already do.
And it's so
even
funny.
with the put in checks and balances.
And it's so funny because it's like, it made me really laugh when Chris Rock was on that stand up, and he was talking about the insurrection, talking about white people. He was like, white people trying to overthrow the country that they run. We got to get them out of there. Who? Us. Boy, I was dying. I was dying. And who you think was arresting him? The same police.
Well, comedians have some substance
Hey,
sometimes.
hey.
Make it funny, but make you realize them.
Hey, but back to blue, right?
Oh,
Back to blue till they after you.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Back to blue until they after you, huh?
Damn, that's valid. I didn't watch it, so I didn't know that. I didn't even.
Chris Rock
I didn't
was
watch
going
it.
in. Whether you like Trump or not, that was funny.
Oh, he was referring to Trump.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
The Capitol riots, man.
I didn't watch it.
January
I had
6th.
no idea. I didn't.
That's
I
what he
didn't
was
watch it.
talking about.
Huh?
Because you got to think, people got arrested from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, Trump's side, that usually tends to be the police side. And it's like, let's just keep it a stack. We do need police.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We got to have police. We have to have, but we also got to have checks and balances on the police.
But the right people are not put in place for those checks and balances. The right people do not hold each other accountable
Yep.
for those checks and balances.
But I will tell you this, try building a city without the police, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Because there's going to be a vacuum of power. And who do you think is going to fill that vacuum? Rich people are always going to have a way to afford their own private security. And broke people and average people are going to be left to fend for themselves. And they're going to have their extra protection. And because there's no centralized form of force or law enforcement, then what can you do? You're at the mercy of violence. Because at the end of the day, you're going to create a situation where the rich have a monopoly on it. A monopoly on violence. Is that really bad without? Is it really bad?
The rich already control things. More than you think you know.
Yes, but we at least have some
Do
avenues.
we? Do we?
Better than none. But then the question becomes, okay, is it better off to be a free for all? Is it really better?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I
So
wouldn't say-
then
I wouldn't say
what's
that.
the solution? Because let's keep it a stuck. There's always going to be a group of people that operate outside of the rules. It's just gonna be what it is.
So-
That's how the world
You
works.
see how we're talking about checks and balances?
Yeah.
Do you believe that between the black and white cultures there need to be checks and balances?
Yes.
But who could enforce those checks and balances? That
Leaders.
okay.
We gotta have leaders. We gotta have leaders, and we have to have leaders that have a code, and we cannot fall short of that code. But the question is, who has the propensity to be able to step up?
Who?
Who?
You got any that Al? Who? Who? I don't answer that question. I want y'all comment. Who you think could start the change?
Who is a
Can be the
black
face of
man that
change.
the black community respects?
Okay, but it can't just be a black man in power either. It has to be the white man as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But it has to be.
I'm
on both.
speaking in terms of my people, our
Okay.
people.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
As black people, what strong men can we look to put in place to set those boundaries for us to follow? What man is worthy of that task?
I don't know. I can't think of no. I mean, that's a good one.
We gotta ask these questions.
Answer that in the comments. What man? That's a really good question. What man did we respect that we feel can carry the torch, that can take our not burden, but take our what we need, what we believe in, who we are as a society.
I'm gonna be honest.
Uh,
We need some white people on this with us.
No, it's coming. You know,
It's gonna come. We're gonna have
I
to
like
revisit
stuff
this.
like this. I appreciate you putting this topic out there. Well, really, it was me. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm glad that I was able to find a topic like this because it really created some thought in the mind.
Yeah, it was definitely.
And I mean, I get it. You know, this is just like a little teaser, right? Because what's coming, we will have different people from different cultures in here. We might not even just have white people in here. Might be some Asian people in
We're
here.
gonna have to bring some Asians.
We both said Asians.
We're gonna have to bring some Asians.
What? I don't know.
We gotta bring some
Hey,
Hispanics.
plenty of things are coming.
If we need to talk about the border wall, we need to talk about immigration. We need to talk about conflicts abroad, Ukraine, Russia. We need to talk about Taiwan and China. We need to talk about Israel and Palestine. We need to talk about these conflicts.
But in order to talk about those conflicts, we need to have people in that space as well.
Exactly.
And people that have the knowledge as well. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. I got to do research on all of it. I have to sit down and I have to actually go through some things on all of it so I can get the knowledge that I need to be able to talk about those type of things.
Almost definitely. We're going to have that.
That's going to be
As
a
the
different
time
type of.
comes.
Yeah, as the time comes, it's going to be a
But I
different
will
type
tell
of
you
episode.
this, we need to start caring about it now. And you know why?
Wow.
Because our tax money going over there.
More than just a tax money.
Your money is going over there,
Look,
whether
guys.
you care about it or not. I would at least
Stop.
want to know something about it.
Yelling.
It's not my fault.
Jesus Christ.
I don't like getting robbed.
God.
I don't like getting robbed, man.
Oh, God.
I mean, if somebody was
Hey.
taking your money, wouldn't you want to know where it was
want to
going?
know where I was going. Yeah, you ain't wrong about that.
I'm just saying.
You ain't ever lied.
I remember at one point I was taking home. I remember at one point I took home a check that had like what two and a half, 3 bands for 1 week. When I saw how much of it was going to tax, I saw about a band disappear. I said, "Where my band go? I'm missing one.
Well, you know you got a pay Uncle Sam.
I'm missing one." I'm talking about the government looked at my check, said, take a good bite of my check, boy. A little sour. Good thing I always carry a grapefruit with me. That's a Drake and Josh reference. I'm just saying, man. You have to be aware of everything that's going on with the world. You have to be aware of what's going on with our people. We got to be aware of what's going on with other people. Because at the end of the day, they might directly or indirectly affect us. And we have to understand how.
And in the end, we all have to learn how to coexist.
Of course.
I'll catch y'all in the next video.